Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Chloe Feng. Our top stories tonight. A spike in ailments among babies and students sparks calls for greater vigilance. Pakistani police break into the home of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. And violent protests continue in France after the government bypassed parliament over a controversial issue. Parents have been urged to take better care of their children's health as some viruses are still spreading, although winter is on the way out. The advice comes as 6 babies are being treated in isolation for a respiratory infection, and cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease increased in schools. Joanna Ho reports.
Tuen Mun Hospital said 6 babies aged between 11 days and 5 months tested positive for respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV. They displayed symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection since last Thursday and are being treated in isolation. 4 of them are stable, but an 11-day-old boy is in critical condition and a 5-month-old girl is in serious situation. 14 other babies in the same unit tested negative for the virus. The hospital authority said the virus, which is transmitted by direct or indirect contact with infectious secretions, is more active during spring and summer. It's the most common cause of bronchiolitis and pneumonia for those under 1 year old.
Taking to
the airwaves this morning, Patrick Gibb of the Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine Department of Hong Kong University said many children were admitted to hospital with respiratory diseases in the past 2 months. He added that those in serious condition had shortness of breath and needed oxygen. They also couldn't have milk. Apart from RSV, cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease have also increased in schools, Yip added. He urged parents to check their children's personal hygiene and seek medical help immediately if the youngsters have difficulty breathing and vomit constantly. Separately, Yip noted that the scientific committees of the Center for Health Protection and the World Health Organization are reviewing their policy and advice on COVID vaccinations. He believes there's a high possibility that people will be asked to get a booster shot every year. Joanna Ho, HKIBC.
Chief Executive John Lee has met Justice Minister He Rong before returning to Hong Kong after a 7-day duty visit to Beijing. In all, Lee and his entourage visited 11 ministries and institutions. Before leaving the capital this afternoon, Lee and Mainland Affairs Chief Eric Zhang held closed-door talks with He Rong and her deputy Liu Zhiqiang. The Justice Minister said she looked forward to exchanging views with the SAR government on legal collaboration and the development of the rule of law in the Greater Bay Area. Lee thanked the ministry for its continuous support for the Hong Kong government. Bomb disposal officers have detonated a Second World War grenade discovered near a hiking trail in Happy Valley. 2 military enthusiasts equipped with metal detectors came across a grenade near the Wang Nai Chung tree walk and alerted the authorities. The grenade, which was believed to have been used by Japanese soldiers, was set off this afternoon, creating a loud noise. Hikers and their pets were startled when they heard what sounded like a gunshot. Overseas, police in Pakistan have stormed the home of former Prime Minister Imran Khan while he was on his way to court in the capital, Islamabad. Footage from his political party shows officers beating people outside his house in Lahore. At least 10 people were injured and over 30 arrested. Khan tweeted that his wife was inside the house alone when police torn down the barricades and raided the premises. The move follows a standoff lasting days during which officers trying to arrest him clashed with his supporters. Khan is scheduled to appear in court today in a graft case. He described the charge as a farce and an excuse to restrain him before general elections later this year. Protests have continued in Paris and other French cities, with demonstrators and police fighting pitched battles. The protesters are furious with President Emmanuel Macron, accusing him of undermining democracy by raising the retirement age without a parliamentary vote, Imran Khan reports.
Police in central Paris confronted thousands of angry protesters who lit fires and threw firecrackers at them. It was the second night of unrest after President Emmanuel Macron rammed through an unpopular bill to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. Police fired tear gas to disperse the crowds and made dozens of arrests around the Parliament building. There were similar scenes across France, notably in Bordeaux and Marseille. Macron used special constitutional provisions to bypass Parliament, following government concerns that the bill would fail to win a majority. Trade union leaders have urged employees to walk out of their factories, schools, and other workplaces. They also called on students to abandon classes to force Macron to back down. Transport, public services, and schools have all been affected. The streets of Paris are lined with thousands of tons of rubbish after refuse collection workers went on strike. Some analysts believe the protests could herald a return of the Yellow Vests, a grassroots movement that started in 2018 against fuel price increases and snowballed into a nationwide vote of no confidence in Macron. Imran Khan, HKIBC.
The United States and Ukraine have welcomed the decision by the International Criminal Court to seek the arrest of Russian President Vladimir Putin, but Moscow condemned the move.
The International Criminal Court has issued 2 warrants of arrest in the Ukraine situation. For Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, and for Maria Lvova-Belova, Commissioner of the Russian President for Children's Rights, for the alleged war crimes of deportation of children from Ukrainian occupied territories into the Russian Federation. It is forbidden by international law for occupying powers to transfer civilians from the territory they live in to other territories. Children enjoy special protection under the Geneva Convention.
U.S. President Joe Biden said the decision was justified, claiming that Putin has committed war crimes. But he admitted that Washington does not recognize the International Criminal Court. Moscow said it too does not recognize the court, hence the move is meaningless. Putin's press officers added that the arrest warrant is outrageous because Russia was protecting children by evacuating them from war-stricken areas. Finland is expected to become a member of the Western Defense Alliance NATO within weeks after Turkey gave the Nordic country its blessing.
It is very good to hear this news. It is surely for whole Finland very important. I just want to tell you that from our parliament, 95% of members of parliament said and voted last spring that we have to apply for membership. Now we have got an answer.
At the same press briefing in Ankara, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said his parliament will press ahead with rectifying Finland's membership. All current members have to give their approval before a country can join NATO. Turkey is still holding out on giving a green light to Sweden, saying Stockholm has not done enough to crack down on terrorist groups.
The most important thing is that both Finland and Sweden become full members of NATO quickly, not whether they join at exactly the same time. Last year's decision to invite both Finland and Sweden has fundamentally strengthened the relationship with NATO. As a consequence, their security is much enhanced. So it is inconceivable that NATO would not respond should either Finland or Sweden come under attack.
Back in Hong Kong, artists and students have pitched in to create a 60-meter-long chalk painting to showcase the city's culture. The event at the Avenue of Stars was held to mark Art Month. This afternoon will be one to remember for dozens of children and their parents who took part in a chalk painting event in Chinsha. They brightened a gloomy day with an array of colors. To mark Art Month, local and overseas artists were invited to help about 200 children and their parents produce a 60-meter-long chalk artwork at the Avenue of Stars. The young participants aged between 6 and 17 came from various schools and represented different nationalities. This girl said she drew a baby snake because she was born in the year of the snake. For the invited artists, it was an opportunity to share their experience with the children and promote graffiti and street art. It's very meaningful to let more people know about street activities, said this artist. Many people feel that there's a very high standard for works of art, but in fact, anybody can do it. Some groups took the chance to showcase what they think represents Hong Kong the most. The works included the traditional neon lights in Kowloon City, but with innovative touches. The chalk paintings, however, will not be permanent and will be washed away tonight. But one artist said it's the process and experience that matter most. And onto the weather now, mainly cloudy tomorrow with some rain. Temperatures will range between 20 and 24 degrees. Similar conditions, but a little warmer at the start of the week. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our main news for Saturday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Chloe Feng. Thanks for watching. Good night.